And welcome back to the Consulting Mind. Today we're going to talk about why did the Fed reverse repo climb to 1 trillion in less than one quarter. I'm going to guide you through the key concept and some insight in the coming 10 minutes. So let's first start with the trend. As you can see from the graph, the reverse repo volume was very low as close to zero in early 2021. But then it started to climb in April and further accelerated in May. And finally, it reached 1 trillion in end of June and early July. In case some of you are not quite familiar with the reverse repo mechanism, let me first have a very quick brief on how it works. So reverse repo, fundamentally it means that those selected financial institutions, usually are those bank, money market fund, or some government-sponsored enterprise, being the selected counterparty who lend the money to the Federal Reserve with some interest, and at the same time, they're going to get the Treasury as a collateral from the Federal Reserve. So why do they lend the money to the Fed? Simply because they have too many money. There's just flooded liquidity into the market, so they have to find some way for the money out. Essentially, reverse repo means tightening, less liquidity in the market because the money flowing back to the Fed. It means tightening instead of easing. This is a very key concept that you have to understand.
So then the next question becomes why there is so many money in the market. Well, there are two key sources of the flooded liquidity. The first one will be the quantitative easing. Remember, the Fed is still buying assets. They are still buying assets as high as 120 billion per month, with 80 billions go to the treasuries, while the remaining 40 billions go to those mortgage-backed securities. And the second source of the flooded liquidity will be the Treasury General Account (TGA). For those who are not familiar with these terms, simply speaking, it is the U.S. Treasury Department deposit accounts being kept in central bank. It is also the source of funds for all those fiscal stimulus. When the fund is still being kept in the central bank TGA account, it has not yet gone into the banking system. But then, when the deposits fund is being utilized, is being used to fund those stimulus, it will start going to the banking system, creating another source of further liquidity. We can see that the Treasury General Account balance start dropping recently, which therefore provide an extra liquidity to the banking system. So there is two obvious impact of these two flooded liquidity. The first one is that there is too many money in the market. And the second one is that those flooded liquidity push the short-term investment vehicles, including the treasury bills, treasury notes, or other money market fund, the yield to zero level or close to zero, or some of them even become negative in some trading day. Well, then the next question becomes why do those people are willing to lend the money to the fund even at an interest rate close to zero via the reverse repo? Well, the reason is that either there is too many cash or not enough collateral. Remember, we have mentioned that there is a lack of short-term investment vehicle due to there is too many money, and we have seen that there is a declining in treasury bill supply since February. So some of them are actually aiming for those treasuries as a collateral via the reverse repo getting from the Fed. And another consideration is that powering the money into the reverse repo vehicles at a zero rate could possibly be the less painful alternative. What does that mean? It means that some of the money market funds are already trading at below zero level, or some of them even though the rate can still be maintaining at 0%. But considering those transaction fee, those related administrative fee, the actual return is zero instead, taking all those factors and all those fees into account. So, powering money to the Fed can actually be the least or less painful alternative for those money market funds. So what is the Fed response to that market circumstances? Well, you can see that the Fed raised the overnight repo rate to 5 basis points in June. And what does that mean? It means that now the bottom rate has been set at 5 basis points, and all the repo market rate will be kept on or above 5 basis points. And how does that work? Well, you can think of that. Effectively, now the Fed is telling the market, all of you can lend the money to me and I will pay you 5 basis point interest with those collateral. So you can imagine, lending money to the Fed can be considered the most safety investment option on earth because the Fed cannot be broken. Okay, they can print unlimited amounts of money. They got the highest credit level on earth. So you can consider that will be the effective risk-free rate if you lend the money to the bank. So now if the Fed say that I'm willing to borrow you the money at 5 basis point, all those money market fund, all those other counterparty will not be able to obtain any fund or any money if they are not paying 5 basis point or above, because the market participant can now get this money from the Fed. So now we can further examine the argument. We can see that the secure overnight financing rate, which is considered one of the most important money market benchmark interest rate in the financial market. It is also a broad measure of the cost of borrowing cash overnight with collateral by the Treasury securities. As you can see from the graph, the rate has been dropping since early January of 2021 because of the reason mentioned before, there are just too many money. And then when the Fed effectively raised the overnight repo rate to 5 basis points, you can see that this benchmark rate has also rise to 5 basis points and stood up to that since then. So this is what we mean by 5 basis points become the bottom rate in the market. So this is the end of the reverse repo video, and I hope it helped you to gain a better understanding on this concept. If you like this video, please click the like button for me, and see you soon.